Everyone watching this video right now, I want you to look back at your youthful years, like first grade, kindergarten, maybe even preschool. I want you to look back at that time frame in your youth and think of the most common questions you were asked. Back then it would have been like, what's your favorite color? Who's your best friend? Who's your bestest friend? And what kind of things do you like to collect? Maybe like Legos, Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards. Though nowadays it's probably like, what's your KD in Fortnite and what's the 3 digits on the back of your parents' card, just so you can probably get some free V-Bucks. But there's one question out of the bunch that has always stuck with me to this day. That is, what's your favorite animal? Some common answers would be like a cat, dog, fish, a flamingo. Someone I knew actually had a flamingo as their favorite animal, but that's not my answer. No. I was one of the more unique answers out of the bunch of my kindergarten class. My favorite animal, and still is a monkey. I like monkey. I see a monkey and make me happy. Monkey see, monkey do. I want a pet monkey from you. Oh! Little me back in the day, whenever I went to a zoo, would just want to do this. Get into the little aerial tram ride. I don't care how long the line is. We're going on that tram to go see the monkeys, see the gorillas, see any kind of primate. And once that was done, I get an icy Dippin' Dot, then we're done. But as long as I've seen the monkeys, it's fine. It's fine, honestly. You know what? It's fine. It would have been nice to have the Dippin' Dots and icy, but it's fine, you know? And when people would ask me in a confusing manner for some reason why a monkey was my favorite pet, it wouldn't be like, oh, because they have tails, because of their noise, or just like the way they swing from the vines. All of those are cool. They're cherry on the top. My answer was, if I were to walk into school one day, nowadays just a public area, and just have a monkey chilling on my shoulder. He's not doing anything crazy. He's not jumping on the bed. He's not flinging poo at anyone unless I tell him to. That would be sick, to just have a monkey on your shoulder and just be like, yeah, I got a monkey on my shoulder. What are you going to do about it? Well, you don't like the monkey? You know what? Hey, monkey. Rip his face off. And with that monkey, we would also go on some silly and wacky adventures together. That would be the dream, to just have a monkey. But alas, I have no monkey. Fast forward to nowadays, that dream, that idea of owning a pet monkey has appeared to me in the back of my mind. And it got me thinking, what would be the ideal pet monkey? But I didn't just want to limit the idea to monkeys extinct and non-extinct. I wanted to also include monkeys from shows, video games, movies, you name it. And I know there's going to be a small group of people out there saying, Mike, that's not a monkey, that's a gorilla, that's a chimpanzee. I don't care. You make your own video about monkeys. How about that? Well, what sounds better? Coming up with the idea of the ideal pet primate, or coming up with the idea of the ideal pet monkey? So no matter what kind of primate you may see here on this video, it is now also given the honorary title of monkey. So now I want to take all of these monkeys and put them in a tier list to find out which one would be the ideal pet monkey for moi. At the end of the day, these are just my opinions on what I think the ideal pet monkey is for me. But if you disagree, I encourage you to make your own tier list on what the ideal pet monkey is for you. But let's stop yapping and get to the answer for this question. So here's the tier list that we have today. We have S through D rank. Now let's explain which tier means what. So let's talk about tier D. Tier D has a lot of cons to having this as a pet monkey. But the main thing is that I don't want this as a pet monkey. I would have this monkey and I'm just like, I don't really want this as a pet. Not even as the idea of like, okay, let's try it out and uh-oh, something happens. No, it's just, I don't want it. So D tier is going to be called, forgot to feed. Moving on. Tier C is a monkey that, yeah, I'll give a shot about having this as a pet, but there's just stuff with this monkey that I feel like is not gonna help me out. It's not worth my health to own this as a pet monkey. Even when I first get it, I'm questioning myself, why did I decide to actually take on the responsibility of this monkey? So for that, tier C is gonna be called will send me to the hospital. I am gonna be hurt in some way. I hopefully am crossing my fingers my face isn't torn off or it's flinging poo at me. Moving on to tier B, that's gonna be like the tier list where I'm looking at this monkey and it's like, God, it infuriates me to no end when you do something like this. But I look at the monkey and I'm like, I can't stay mad at you, monkey. No matter what this monkey did, maybe he's throwing banana peels all over the place, he is eating like the couch cushions in my sofa, or he's just driving me crazy. No matter what, I still love monkey. And for that, tier B is going to be called monkeys jumping on the bed. I'm like the mama monkey where all her monkeys just kept jumping on the bed and then they fell. And then they're like, oh, what did I tell you? I told you this would happen and look what happened. But I love you. I still love you. Tier A is going to be the monkey that is a really nice monkey to have. There's a lot of pros, maybe one con about it, but it's just right there from being the ideal monkey for me. I may even own this pet and think, I don't really see you as a pet. I may see you as like the Brian Griffin to my Peter Griffin dynamic that we got going on here. So yeah, I see like 1 or 2 cons of having this as a pet monkey, but not only that, not seeing it as a pet, more like the insert the animal in every adult sitcom nowadays. And that is why tier A is going to be called My Roommate's a Monkey, because my gym partner's a monkey, that show. Tier S is peak monkey. So many good things about it, and then some. It's the ideal monkey I see for me. If I was given this monkey, I'd be at peace. Everything I could ask for it, everything extra, and that is the tier list names. Now we get on to ranking the monkeys. How many monkeys are there? 58 monkeys. Me and my best friend and friend of the channel have compiled a list of 58 monkeys to rank what's the ideal pet monkey. And what better to start off this tier list with? The regular monkey. Now looking up in this video, I wanted to see like, oh, maybe I can just throw in like any other kinds of monkeys or related to the monkeys in this tier list as well. I looked up how many species of monkeys there are, and it gave me a triple-digit number in both Old World and New World. Yeah, we're just gonna take all those monkeys and put it into one monkey. So yeah, we're taking all 334 monkeys, putting into one monkey, and I hate to break it to you, it's not an S tier. It's not even an A tier. I don't know how many people know this. Having a pet monkey, not the safest pet. They could have possible diseases. They're expensive to own. They might not be legal in the state I am in. And also at a certain age, they become territorial. And I don't know about you, I want to feel safe in my house with my pet monkey. Maybe I can adopt one under my name and let a zoo take care of it, have like a joint custody type of vibe with them, give them like visits like 2 to 3 times a week or a month, and then we just call it good there. But unfortunately, monkey period is gonna go into C tier. I think it will definitely send me to the hospital. Next monkey I want to rank here is the reason why tier A is called as such, is a reference to it. So that means the next monkey is going to be Jake Spider Monkey. Someone keep track of how many times I'm gonna say monkey in this video. I feel like it's going to be a lot. Not a show I really watched, but for someone that likes monkeys, it's not a show that really called to me. So I thought, just in respect for it, I'd put it at A tier, because that's what the tier is called, and it'd be kind of silly to just not put that monkey in that tier. That was until I saw the My Gym Partner's a Monkey Wikipedia page and immediately was like, yeah, no, I gotta put you down to monkeys jumping on the bed. Sorry about that, champ. Really quickly should mention this. There's gonna be a lot of monkeys on this list that I have to go to the Wikipedia page to look at information, because I either remember them or don't know anything about them at all. Like me in my 20s nowadays is probably not gonna remember monkey number 27 from like when I was 5 or something like that. Yeah, so just letting you know, let's get back to the monkeys. The next monkey we got here is, remember when we classified every primate here is going to be now called a monkey. This is where we're going to start with it. Mr. Teeny from The Simpsons. Nice little monkey owned by Krusty. I think he just needs a better owner and stop the chain smoking. I feel like that's going to be a problem living with me. I don't smoke. He can also be my accountant and so much more. If he could do my taxes for me and not mess up to where I have to go to jail, nice. But hot take, because of the smoking, he's going to go into monkeys jumping on the bed. Let's take a look at another 20th century animated monkey, being Abu from Aladdin. This was like my favorite movie when I was little. Whenever I get sick, I would have like some Kraft's mac and cheese, and then my mom would put on Aladdin or Mulan. So because of that, Abu was like the monkey I wanted. I saw the monkey and I was like, that's a loyal, ride or die monkey to have as a pet. He can be sassy and have a little attitude, but that's okay. I feel like he has the right to have that attitude, because when he's having the attitude, that's probably because he's just trying to help me out with something and I'm not listening to him, which is rude. And I listen to the monkey, and hey, we can get up to some silly shenanigans here. Maybe I can even tell him to be like, hey monkey, I want that Lego, give me the Lego. So because of that and the nostalgia I have with the movie Aladdin, I feel like this is a perfect peak monkey S tier. Keeping it on that nostalgic feel, let's look back at a video game that I used to play a lot back in the day and still do nowadays. Have you heard of Wizard 101? That's cool, because we're not talking about it. We're talking about Pyro 101, a video game that I've done dozens of live streams for and have also done 2 hour-long retrospectives of the video game, and somehow I still can't escape the game because we're talking about it here. Out of all the monkeys that I probably could have chose here, I decided to choose 3 monkeys. Monkey King is like a mid to late game guy that you can actually have on your team as a companion, and I thought he could possibly be a good guy to have on as a pet monkey, but then I remembered he's kind of a trickster. He does know how to fight, he has a cool little staff and can protect me from harm's way, but I don't want to wake up one day in the morning and realize something's missing. He'll steal stuff, he'll lie to me, he might even be a professional gaslighter. I feel like in some way that's gonna send me in the hospital. So yeah, he's going in that tier. Mr. Gandry, I feel like he'll know how to get me some gold or money in some sort of way. He's also a loyal first mate to his Captain Butchbeard, so I can be the Butchbeard in his role now. And he also can give me some nice good advice because that's what he does throughout the game. When you have the tutorial tips on, that is. He is a smart monkey, but he is told in his Pyro 101 Central Wikipedia page, he does have a little bit of a temper, and it does show. So that's why I feel like he is a good spot for my roommate's a monkey. Cortez, at first when you meet him, super crazy. He's off his rocker right now. But then once you get to know him, he's actually a pretty super chill guy. And honestly, if I were to have him, I feel like he'd be more reliable than Monkey King. Even with that, I feel like he is going to be also right next to Mr. Gandry in my roommate's a monkey. This next one we have here is definitely someone you've heard at least once. You might have seen a book about it. You've definitely seen a movie about it. Curious George. B tier. What's the pros? He is a monkey that will definitely love you no matter what. If you are to adopt this monkey, he is going to give you all the love and affection. Another pro is that you don't have to worry about this monkey tearing off your face. Now what's the con, you might ask? This monkey is going to be so fucking stressful to own. I have seen what the man in the yellow has had to gone through with this monkey. I'm not ready for that responsibility. I don't want to get a call one day from the mayor, the governor, the president saying, hey, your monkey George, he's just directing traffic and he just caused a 4-car pileup. Can you come deal with your monkey? I don't have the money for that. I don't have the sanity for that. Also, there could be some diseases with it. I've seen the Adult Swim little short. Human hospital, no, we're taking him to a veterinarian. So yeah, that's why he is going to be in Monkeys Jumping on the Bed. Going to Boots from Dora the Explorer. Do I ignore the fourth wall breaking he does? Do I just like acknowledge it how in the Dora the Explorer live action movie whenever Dora does it? Am I gonna be like that? Or am I just gonna be like, yeah, he does this? Like like am I gonna like hang out with my friends one day and bring Boots the monkey with me, and then when there's like a time where it's gonna come up, I just be like, hey guys, watch this. Even with the possible oddity of him breaking the fourth wall, he'd be such a great monkey to have. And while he doesn't know Spanish himself, he at least has learned Spanish from Dora, and he can just help me learn Spanish better, as that's one of the 3 languages I want to get better at. And the reason why I say that is because this show has been around for 25 years, and the life expectancy of a monkey is 30. So at most, I'm getting this monkey for 5 years. Automatic A tier. Now, when looking for monkeys, I didn't know about this, and maybe you didn't know as well. Did you know Superman had a monkey? Yes, he did. Way back in the day. He had a pet monkey named Beppo the monkey. If I were to have this monkey, that means Superman saw me and was like, you know what, have my pet monkey. That's a huge honor to have. Now, while he may be a Kryptonian monkey, he is still a monkey at heart, so there might be some mischief in there when having him. And because of that differences, because of owning Superman's monkey and having that mischief, I feel like the damages are going to be more severe. Now, I could use kryptonite as a way to discipline him, but that's only if like Superman says, hey, just shove this in his face and then he'll calm down. But it's not in the tier of will send me to the hospital. I feel like it is good enough to where I can have this guy in Monkeys Jumping on the Bed. Let's see, what's the next monkey I'm gonna rank here? Ew! Oh! Flying monkey! Oh god, we gotta rate the flying monkey next. Okay, let's get this over quick and easy. This is a freak of nature. I do not want this monkey. Flying monkeys are also evil, and I do not condone evil, so I do not condone this monkey. That's D tier. We're forgetting to feed this guy. Well, wait a minute. This image right here isn't a flying monkey. It's the Lego flying monkey. You know, there's also made monkey molds. Lego. I don't know where I was going with it. I mean, yeah, they have a Lego monkey mold. So this isn't like an actual breathing monkey. This is just a plastic monkey. Cool. How? Why? This guy's just gonna be stored away with the other Lego animals. I'm hoping not to step on it by accident. That would suck. But on the bright side, he's low maintenance. A tier. Let's get back to younger me on what my favorite actor was back in the day, being Johnny Depp. And now one of the movies he's most famous for playing in was Pirates of the Caribbean. And Pirates of the Caribbean had a pretty iconic monkey in there. So when it came to thinking about Jack the monkey, do I rank it as if I'm Barbossa, or do I rank it as I am not Barbossa and I just got this monkey? So if I'm Barbossa, this is like a definite S tier monkey. This is a peak monkey. I could also rank it as like Barbossa giving me the monkey, which I feel like would hurt the monkey. That would crush his heart and he would just be a pain in the ass to take care of at that point. I think this guy will still send me to the hospital though, because I'm not Barbossa. Moving on to the next monkey is actually going to be like a subgroup of monkeys, meaning that they all come from like this certain type of area. Same as pirate, I just didn't mention that earlier. So we're just going to do it all in one sitting. And the first group of monkeys I have here is Pokemon. Now back in the day, I was definitely one of those kids that didn't like Pokemon. I thought it was kind of cringe. I thought it was kind of weird. But fast forward to my freshman year of high school, that's when I started to get more involved with Pokemon. There's a game that I'll mention a little bit later, but then I also started playing like GBA emulators of Pokemon Emerald, Fire Red, and that's when I started to like Pokemon a bit more and where I started to actually get the games. Now Pokemon, it has a lot of monkeys, but I have limited to 10 monkeys to talk about for this tier. Some of those monkeys don't evolve, some of those monkeys evolve twice or 3 times. And if those are the case, I limited to the first stage evolution of the monkey for this video. And the first one I want to talk about here is Apom. I like the look of this monkey. He seems like an easy monkey to feed. He seems like a great high fiver as well. I just better watch out for tail slap. Get it? Get it? Peak. For Mankey, I don't know if the anger is something that I want to deal with. It's definitely got a temper. I mean, it literally evolves into being angry so much it dies. But even with the anger, I feel like he'd be more manageable to deal with if he was primate. I feel like he's definitely going to put me in the hospital. So yeah, C tier for him. When it comes to picking a starter, majority of the time I've always picked the fire starter. So Chimchar would easily be an S tier for me, but I don't know if I would be crazy about having it as a monkey. You can always point to the detail of like, I don't know if the fire is going to be a cool thing to have in like at least an apartment or just a house. He's a very considerate monkey though. That's pretty cool to have this as a pet. But at the same time, I'm not like begging or like wanting it, a need to have this as a pet monkey versus like maybe Apom or another monkey later on. So because of that, he's going to go into my roommate's a monkey. Every time I look at Grookey, I look at him and say, I should have picked you as my starter. Reading his Pokedex, it's pretty cool. He's an upbeat monkey. I feel like my mom would love to have this as a pet. And just look at his smile. That's a smile that would lift up anybody's mood. I'm not lying when I say this, but I feel like having Passimian as a pet monkey can help me be the next Brady or Mahomes. But I better learn quick or he will abandon me. He's got to see if I'm worth his time or he'll just leave me. Yeah, I'm not trying to come home one day from work and then all of a sudden I get Passimian coming up to me being like, hey, so we're trading you to Pittsburgh. Even with that, I'm gonna put him in A tier. When I look at Oranguru as a possible pet monkey, I feel nothing. He would definitely be a jerk. I can tell that from reading his Pokedex, and I'm not having that. If I don't want the monkey and he's gonna be a jerk to me, fine. No food for you. You're D tier. If I were to ever capture the Pokemon Zarude and have a chance of owning it, I feel like I'd be in fear of it the whole time. Again, the anger issues might be a problem, but we're comparing it from a Mankey to a mythical Pokemon, but he's gonna be in the same tier, C tier. 3 more monkeys from Pokemon I have here. Pansear and Panpour, it's kind of the same thing with Oranguru. There's nothing wrong about it, it's just I don't really want it as a pet or a Pokemon pet, but you know who I do want? Pansage. Pansage and Simisage are my favorite monkey Pokemon. Years ago, there was a experience on Roblox called Pokemon Brick Bronze that was unfortunately taken down. This was my introduction to Pokemon. And because of Brick Bronze, it made me like Pokemon that weren't as that popular or weren't seen in like a good light. And Monkey was really good on my team. He had like Seed Bomb, Arrow Ace, and just was able to do the job perfectly. S tier, that is a peak Pokemon monkey for me. Someone give me a plush of Pansage or Simisage, please. King Kong would wreck my shit. I feel like if you own King Kong as a pet, it's a double-edged sword. You would be unstoppable with King Kong as your pet. You could do anything with it. But one thing is that it's going to be hard to find a place that you can live with King Kong without him just, driving far, far away to visit him. And 2, I don't want to be part of the collateral damage. Is he going to send me to the hospital? Yeah, he's going to send me into the grave. But now let's go from King Kong to a much smaller huggable monkey. If you were a kid growing up in the early to mid 2000s, you have at least heard of, or if not owned, a Webkinz. For me, I owned a lot. I think I had the most out of my sisters, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I still have a majority, if not all of my Webkinz stuck in like a toy chest somewhere in our house. But looking for that is like looking for the Lost Ark in Indiana Jones. It's impossible. For me, I own like the gray lemur monkey stuffed animal, but I think one of my sisters owned the stuffed animal, the OG monkey. Here, hold on, I actually have some. But not only is it a tangible monkey to have in the palm of your hands, but you can also have fun with the monkey online on the Webkinz website. And because of that, that's a pink monkey for me. That is a pink monkey. The only thing that would make it better, maybe it living. I don't know if that'd be weird or not. If this Webkinz just came to life and just be like, oh, like I don't know about that. Now that one was a good toy monkey. Now let's talk about an evil toy monkey. Evil toy monkey being the Toy Story 3 monkey. I fucking hate this guy. I hate this evil monkey. He won't move in my presence, which, you know, maybe he will, maybe he won't. You know, depends on how he's feeling. If he wants to do a toy uprising in the first one, like what Woody did. I'm just worried that like in the middle of the night, he's gonna be like right on my chest, just looking at me, making sure everything's fine. He's getting thrown right out the window. This is a tier D monkey. This is a forgot to feed monkey. If I could forget to feed him, I would. I just had to say that. Now let's talk about a happier monkey. I love the design of Ho-Ho, the monkey, from Ni Hao Kai Lan. But at the same time, if I were to have Ho-Ho as a pet monkey, that is the equivalent of having a toddler, a child, as a single father struggling. I am an adult, but I feel like I am still too young to have this as a pet monkey, because it's just gonna be a lot of whining, complaining, a fiery temper again with this one. Even the wiki on Ni Hao Kai Lan says that Ho-Ho can't control his emotions, and he does have a fiery temper. That's literally a toddler. Ho-Ho is a perfect candidate for jumping on the bed tier. Have you ever had that moment where you're reminded something years ago and you look at it like, ah, and then now more recently you're still remembering it and you're just like, ah, space chimps. And out of all the chimps in this movie, we're looking at the Andy Samberg one. I haven't seen spaceships in a long time, but I at least remember like Zartog, Patrick Warburg chimp, and even like that weird little alien that looks like a nutsack. The right one specifically looks like that one. And because I haven't seen space chimps in a long time, it's kind of hard to remember what Andy Samberg monkey was like. So you might be thinking, oh, what, did he go watch the whole movie over again just to remember what he's like? Yep, I did. I'm not joking, I did. And I don't like Andy Samberg chimp. He would be a smartass the whole day. Even with all he's gone through in that movie, he's gonna be a smartass still. The humans aren't able to understand the chimps in that movie, so I won't be able to understand what he's saying, but I know when he's gonna say some cheap ass one-liner. He's one cheap thought away from saying in his little chimp voice saying, he's right behind me, isn't he? This film has dirty crack house vibes. Somewhere in the world, there is a child in a dirty crack house who watches this as a 2008 cam rip on a burnt disc on repeat while their parents smoke crack. Yeah, that's what it was like. Put him in D tier. If I could go back and decide which monkeys to put in here, I would definitely go back and put in Patrick Warburton instead. The evil monkey in Chris's closet. If you've seen episode 5, season 8 of Family Guy, you saw that Chris was actually able to finally capture the evil monkey and expose it to the whole family. And you find out he's a very misunderstood monkey. This poor monkey has been through so much with his wife cheating on him and just wants to have the best for everyone else around him. He's the motivational pet monkey I need in my life to make me go to the gym more often, eat healthier, and of course, make more consistent uploads. Put him in peak monkey. That is S tier material. Remember the chimps from Madagascar? One is Phil, one is Mason. They seem like a nice pair. It's a 2-in-1 deal when you get these. You can't get one or the other. You have to get both. I honestly didn't know the other monkey was named Mason. I just knew the other one was named Phil because but Phil can read. Phil? Now even with everything I've described to you, there's something that's holding them back from being S tier monkeys. And that's their major characteristic. Phil being a slob and Mason being a neat freak. Phil's gonna be very annoying being a slob, but with Mason, it seems like he's a real neat freak. I'm just worried that one day I'm just gonna be chilling with like a Dr. Pepper in my hand. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. I finished the Dr. Pepper, put it down, go to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden I get back and he's just standing there like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna put him in my roommate's a monkey. because there's two. Staying on DreamWorks, let's also talk about Monkey from Kung Fu Panda. And I'm not talking about Teenage Monkey from Secrets of the Furious 5, I'm talking about Monkey from the films and such. After he was done being a pain in the ass to the town, humbled by Oogway, he started becoming a comedian. He's got jokes, probably not good ones, maybe he's got like a good dad joke in the chamber here and there, but yeah. But I look at Monkey and I say, I don't think he can really be a pet. In the world of Kung Fu Panda, there are no humans. They are all anthropomorphic animals. If I was to have him as a pet, I feel like we'd be more like roommates, or, you know, we have our own sitcom scenario, Monkey and me. And because of that, it fits right perfectly in My Roommate's a Monkey. But with that being said, monkey. That's gonna go in the monkey tier. Now it's time to cover a family of monkeys, the Kong family. Now, the Kong family is pretty huge. They got a lot of Kongs in there, but I decided to limit it to the ones that at least I am familiar with and majority of people are familiar with. There's a lot to cover as well, so let's just quickly get through this. First off, starting with Diddy Kong, I feel like he would be like having a child again, but he'd be the upgraded Ho-Ho. He'd definitely be like a kid that's in like middle of elementary school. One thing I have to remember is that I have to refer to him as Diddy Kong and not just the first name because of you know who. Daisy Kong I feel like is going to be the same as Diddy Kong, but I'm not having both together. I am there. It's going to be one or the other, and I'm not being the third wheel in my own household. Both of them are going in B tier. For Cranky Kong, I am not taking care of an elderly monkey. Boots was fine because he seems like he just won't age, even though he's been that same look for 25 years, so he's fine. Cranky, I'm sorry, you're going and forgot to feed. You'll probably even pass away by the time I forget to feed you. Now, Funky Kong, that's peak monkey right there. Funky Kong is peak monkey. I could come home from a bad day and just look at him and be like, you know what? You made my day now. You made my day just from your presence. From what I read, it seems like he dislikes adventuring, but I feel like I can change it with just a few words of do it for the vine, and then he'd be like, you know what? I'm on board now. And then there's Chunky. He's dead. That's all the Kongs from that family. Now we're going to talk about Donkey Kong. And I could have just done one version of Donkey Kong, but I felt like it would be nice to mention different versions of Donkey Kong. Starting it off, we have modern era Donkey Kong. That's going to be like before the 2020s. Modern era Donkey Kong seems like a chill and lax monkey to have, but I feel like he's just missing something to make him into peak monkey. So he's going to be at A tier for that. 2020s era Donkey Kong is from Mario Kart World Tour and Bonanza. That one feels like what I'm missing, but I'm just worried he's going to be a bit of a loose cannon. He's just going to smash up the ground for Bananium, and if he's ushering me to get on his back, I'm gonna be very hesitant. My legs crack at the slightest movement there is to it, so why should I get on his back? If that wasn't a problem, I'd put him over modern era Donkey Kong, but because of that, I'm gonna put him in B tier. Super Mario movie Donkey Kong, the Seth Rogen Donkey Kong. I feel like there's so much I can deal with in one day of the Seth Rogen laugh. He's gonna have that like vibe of like a snotty, lazy, unemployed daddy's boy. He is a literal man-child. D tier. He's getting forgotten to feed. He'll have to find it himself. The Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong Show. I'd shower you with coconut cream pies. I don't know, like A tier. I just wanted to mention that in the video. And there's one more version of Donkey Kong I want to mention in this video. Turbocharged Donkey Kong. He was a Skylander. Reading his moveset of what he has in the game, I don't want explosive barrels around my house. He has a motorcycle, a motorized vehicle, so like I could just borrow it from him, or we can just, you know, carpool in that. But just reading his moveset honestly wants me to put him in B tier. And that's all the versions of Donkey Kongs I'm mentioning here. You could look at that and be like, what was the point of separating them if they're just going to be in all A and B tier without the Seth Rogen one? That one's in D tier. Funny. Staying on Skylanders, there are two other Skylanders that are monkeys as well that I wanted to include here. Fling Kong reminds me of Goku in the slightest way because of his commitment to fighting and also fighting for what's right. That's kind of where the comparisons end though. We're not talking about the other one. Unlike him though, he is on time to everything, and bonus points if I'm able to ride the little carpet that he rides around. If so, A tier. Gorilla Drilla, I actually like the Skylander a lot back in the day when Swap Force came out, but I'm hesitant to have it as a pet. I'm fine with having two monkeys as a pet, but I draw the line at more than that because he can summon more monkeys. And because of his name, Gorilla Drilla, drilling is his thing. And I'm not trying to get evicted or kicked out of the house or pay for any damages because of his drilling antics. That's C tier. He's putting me in the hospital probably. I probably should have talked about this monkey earlier with the Toy Story 3 monkey as it's an evil monkey, but we're going to talk about one more evil monkey I have on this tier list being Mojo Jojo. Now, first thing I do is that if I were to have this guy as my pet, I would have an intervention to see if he can drop the whole evil thing. I'm not trying to really be a part of that. I don't want him to make me a henchman or like, you know, like a sidekick even in that. And I'm definitely not letting him hand out candy if some trick-or-treaters come up to our place and are dressed up as the Powerpuff Girls. But even with that, it doesn't seem like he'd be cool with me having him as a pet or even as a roommate. That's because he doesn't like humans. And again, I'm not trying to be a sidekick or evil henchman to him. Yeah, he's in D tier. Just forget to feed him, I guess. If I was able to have Spider Monkey as a pet, that'd be the greatest thing ever. Takes one thing I don't like, being spiders, but meshes it with two other things, being the color blue and monkey. Not only that, but he seems like he's got some humor to boot that helped out Kung Fu Panda Monkey, so that's gonna help out Spider Monkey as well. And I remember as well that being one of my favorite Ben 10 transformations back in the day, so that's peak monkey for me. Captain Huggy Face, aka the monkey from World Girl, is named Robert Botsford, or Bob for short. Great name, right next to Humphrey. That's what I would name my monkey, by the way. I can't say for certain if I remember watching World Girl as a kid or not. I know I did watch like Curious George, Sesame Street, Clifford, Arthur, of course. Captain Huggy Face is a superhero, but he doesn't have any powers either. He's probably like the second closest to the idea of monkey I dreamt of as a kid. So because of that, oh man. I know that I just said that, but stay with me. He's in A tier. Maybe that can change. Maybe we can swap those out, but I think it's interchangeable. A tier or S tier. But let's go from what the second ideal monkey was to the ideal monkey. Zaboomafoo. I watched Zaboomafoo as a kid. This was the ideal monkey for me. As a kid, I thought this lemur was really cool. I was like, whoa, this is a white furred monkey. That's probably why I wanted the gray lemur webkins. It just looks so different. It looks so unique. I like unique looking things. He can talk as well. I love the movement from lemurs as well. This just, oh God, S tier. This is peak monkey. This one might be a blast in the past for a lot of people, but Grape Ape is on this list. Now, if I was to have Grape Ape as a pet, I feel like I would be swapping places with his buddy Beagle Beagle, in which if I am, that's probably not a good thing for me. He is shown jumping on a car as like a way of transportation, and if he does that for my car, I don't know if that's the best thing for my car. This car has been through so much. I hit a turkey with it, and I just finished replacing the door handle to it, so this is the last thing my car wants, is an ape just jumping on top of it. Not only that, I don't know if the cartoon world or characteristics will transfer with him, so like my car can handle that, or at least me. And just like Curious George, I am not paying again for citywide damages or have the possibility of another King Kong, but he's just a bit friendlier. I'm sorry, Grape Ape, you're just a better King Kong, and I still think you'll put me in the hospital. Rafiki is a monkey that can also talk, but same thing. I feel like I can't have him as a pet. He would be the monkey father figure in my life that I never had because mandrills will definitely tear off my face. He's got wisdom and he's got jokes. And if you remember from the last two monkeys that also had jokes, it's a pretty high thing for me. One thing I will not like though is when he will hit me with my staff. I do not care if he's trying to teach me a lesson, if he's trying to give me some wisdom. If he does that again, he is going to have to start paying rent. Still, that's an A tier monkey. That's a roommate monkey. Now, I don't remember too much of Turk, but I remember not liking Turk. I'm not watching another movie again for this video. That got took up by space chimps. So if I hated Turk back in the day, I'm just gonna say it insisted upon itself. There, we'll do that. Yeah, sorry, Turk. You're gonna go into D tier. I'm gonna forget to feed you because of that. Robbie Williams, Betterman Monkey. Me with the flow show, kicking with your torso. 52 monkeys down, 6 more to go, and we're ending it off with monkeys from Nickelodeon. Starting it off, we have the Monkey Chain, the Monkey's Fist, the Monkey. That's gonna go in the Monkey Knots tier, of course. Now, this is a monkey that Alpaca remembered, and because he said that, I remembered it as well. I remember watching Drake and Josh as a kid. Did you know Drake and Josh owned a monkey for an episode? This is Bobo the monkey. If I was Drake and Josh, I would have never sold Bobo the monkey for any price like that. I would never sell him like that. I would never treat him like that. But for $15,000. It seems like Bobo is not at that age yet where he becomes territorial, so I can definitely own him for a bit, and then I will give him to the zoo and then give some weekly visits here and there for him. Look how sad he was just from when he got taken away from the bad man. I gotta put him in S tier from that. That's a peak monkey. He's got emotion. Second to last one is looking at a show that we all would like to forget. Remember Planet Sheen? At first I kept confusing his name, Mr. Nesmith, with Mrs. Nesbit from Toy Story where Buzz is losing his mind. And while he is also smart, I feel like I won't get the fulfillment with him having him as a pet monkey. I want to put him in my roommate's a monkey. but I feel like, and it's making me push towards it, he's gonna be a monkey jumping on the bed because it's gonna be that actually type of guy. One final monkey. And because we're ending it with this final monkey, we're ending it on Jimmy Neutron. It is only fair to do it with Paul the monkey. You know, hi, I'm Paul. Nice and simple when he pops up on the screen. He's always got a smile on his face, and he had 3 words to capture my heart. He's a goofy guy with his mustache. He may be a bit forgetful here, maybe forget a line or two, but hey, who says that we all aren't forgetful either? Paul? He even has a brother or father or sister named Paul as well. I'm gonna stop yapping. The final monkey, Paul the monkey, is peak monkey. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The full tier list of what I think the ideal monkey pet is for me. And there are a lot of monkeys that you have in peak tier. You have Abu, Apom, Grookey, Pansage, Webkinz monkey, Family Guy monkey, Funky Kong, Spider monkey, Zaboomafoo, Bobo the monkey, and Paula monkey. If I was to limit to like a top 5, I'd probably say like Pansage, Family Guy monkey, Funky Kong, Zaboomafoo, and Paul the monkey. I feel like that would be a top 5. And I hope this tier list that you see here will tell you why monkeys are the best animal, are the best pet to have if it was possible, and it again would not risk the possibility of getting your face tearing off. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is also the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with what I had to rank here in this video. Comment below any monkeys I might have missed, because I know I've definitely missed some monkeys in this tier list. Also subscribe, as I'll put a smile on my face. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go on an Indiana Jones expedition to find that toy chest that has all of my Webkinz and hopefully the monkey. But yeah. Okay, bye.